It is a gathering of young electorates as they converge from different parts of Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, to listen to American Congresswoman Abrams Tracy. The lecture is at the instance of an NGO, the Platform for Youth and Women Development, in collaboration with the African National Democratic Institute. The Congresswoman shared her experiences and the need for young persons to participate in politics of Nigeria.
The work in terms of election cycles. The work is persistent, and that's one of the reasons I create organizations. I founded Fair Fight, which is a national organization committed to building and sustaining democracy. And that means working not only with Black voters and young voters, but other voters of color, ensuring that Latino voters and Asian American voters and Native American voters have the right to be heard. I created the organization Fair Count, which focused on the US Census, and that has been continuing to work across Georgia and across the South, helping build political power by making certain people understand the role of the census, and they understand the local elections that are coming up. The third organization I created is called the Southern Economic Advancement Project. Through that project, we work on economic development issues. We are working to make certain that communities have access to the resources that came through the COVID funding, but also the monies that are coming through the Inflation Reduction Act to address climate change, the resources that are in the bipartisan infrastructure bill. And so across the board, my intention is not to necessarily simply focus on building personal political power, because when you are focused on your own political outcomes, you are ignoring the needs of the people around you.
Senior Associate, African National Democratic Institute, Chris Fomoya, and the Executive Director, Platform for Youth and Women Development, Kingdom Ogebuna, expressed happiness for the visit of the Congresswoman to Nigeria and called on all stakeholders to enhance the electoral process in the country.
There are times when you work on democracy support, democracy strengthening across the continent, and there are times when you feel really challenged because you see the progress that's being made, but from time to time, you see some of the backsliding that many of our countries across the continent have experienced. And then you turn around and you see a young, dynamic leader like Kingdom, who is doing remarkable work in a country like Nigeria against all odds, but is motivating young people and bringing them out in their numbers and putting them into the electoral process. It's very uplifting and it's very heartwarming. And you may not know this, but you are really inspiring millions of young Nigerians, millions of Africans, myself inclusive.
We confidently assure you that the Nigerian voters have been given a voice, and this election will witness the highest number of voter turnout in our history. There is a saying, if we must fix the electoral system in the world, we must fix the electoral system in Africa. And if we must fix the electoral system in Africa, we must begin from Nigeria. Why? Because God has blessed Nigeria with a lot of population. Our registered voter is almost 94 million voters, and that is twice or thrice the population of some African countries. If non-governmental organizations are allowed to carry out their programs without the support of external authorities, it may take us a longer period of time to find a lasting solution towards institutionalizing the electoral process in Nigeria. On October 28, 1999, former President Clinton, while hosting former President Olusegun Obasanjo at the White House, said, and I quote, "It is very much in America's interest for Nigeria to succeed, and therefore we should assist them in their success."
It is also an avenue for young electorate to ask questions on how to deepen democracy in Nigeria.
The military in Nigeria handed over power in 1999. What is the main point, like in Nigeria as a
the ability to take care of yourself and your family, and safety. But coupled with safety is always justice. Anytime you hear people talking about safety without talking about justice, be afraid. Because if they are not thinking about justice, that means if you're willing to pursue safety without considering justice, you are not delivering true safety. Those should be it's that combination of beliefs that your candidate should be able to speak to. They should be able to speak to how are they going to ensure that young people are growing up with the education that they need. They should be able to talk about how are they ensuring that those who are elderly are retiring and can take care of themselves. How are they dealing with the marginalized? Do they have a plan? And I think that's the most fundamental question.
High Point is a presentation of awards to the Congresswoman and the Senior Associate of the African National Democratic Institute.
I want to thank you for all that you've done for blacks in America, the whole world, even whites, for young people, young women. I want to thank you for what you've done for the less privileged, the less opportune, the marginalized in the whole world. And we pray that God Almighty will give you the strength to follow this cause for humanity. Thank you. This award, and thank you for all that you've been doing for Africa, and as well as encourage you to do more. You are an inspiration to me personally and to millions of Africans and as well as the entire world. I want to thank you and as well as God bless you.
Emmanuel Onu, News 24.